starting it now because you're a dick. Welcome everybody at home to Con Stuff and Junk Podcast.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's what we're going with. I'm joined today by Zach Newworth.
Hi.
And Pat Dennis.
Hello.
And these are two of my very good buddies that I do things with, and we draw things, and then we go to conventions, and we
do things with.
Yeah.
Soon.
So, would you guys mind introducing yourselves to the community of people out there listening to this podcast of crazy people talking about stuff? So,
yeah,
you go first, Pat.
Okay. I'm Pat. This is what I sound like. Like, more of an introduction than that?
I mean, like, what you do and, like, why you're going to Comic-Con?
Right. Oh, okay. Like a real introduction.
Yeah.
All right. So I draw.
Yay.
And I do a lot of, like, pop culture illustrations, all digital.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why I go to Comic-Con. And I try and sell them to unsuspecting consumers. I try and capitalize on nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
And sadness.
That's the best advice we could possibly give. Concentrate on sadness. And who are you, Zach? Why should people care about you?
Because I'm awesome.
Yeah.
No, I'm Zach, obviously. I draw silly things. Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And why are you going to Boston Comic-Con?
I need to eat food, so I need to make money to eat the food.
Food.
That's
not necessary.
No, but yeah. I take pop culture things, put it on the paper, mix it with other stuff. It's fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm Will Wiggins. I am a graphic designer and illustrator. And I do a lot of dramatic pose-like stuff with my art. And that's probably the best way to describe what I do.
it's good though.
Yeah, that's I guess as descriptive as I'm going to get with that.
This is why I was always shitty with artist statements in school.
You guys wrote artist statements?
We had to. Yeah.
Ugh.
Wait, you never had to write an artist statement?
I don't know. I don't think so. I didn't go to like real art school.
It's the worst.
Wait, where'd you go to school?
I went to UMass Dartmouth.
I mean, they have an art program.
Barely. in the sense that like any not art related state school has an art program.
Well, our school is a liberal arts school, so we had an art program. It wasn't an art school.
All right.
It's a very good art program though.
Yeah. So, that was the thing.
Yeah. Either way, your stuff is the dynamic pose, that Miss Marvel.
Yeah, I'm very happy with that one, actually. Very, very happy with that one.
Yeah, that was great.
I'm kind of scared to do anything else because I'm like, if it doesn't look nearly as cool as that, then I'm
just need to make it better. It's gonna be better.
Gonna disappoint everyone.
Yeah.
You're only as good as your worst work. Isn't that what they say?
Something like that, yeah. So you don't show your worst work. So if the Starfire I'm working on now ends up not being good, I'm gonna be so mad.
Yeah, that's what happened with Planet of the Apes. The Planet of the Apes one I did.
Yeah, you tell me about that.
Not bringing.
You're not bringing it at all.
No.
And so, do you mind filling everyone in on what happened with that process?
Yeah. So I'll see movies that I like, as normal people do, and I'll say, hey, I kind of want to draw that giant ape that frightens me. So I'll draw it. And halfway through drawing it, I had a kidney stone.
Oh, shit.
And it was like the worst experience of my life. And I was like, I should finish this. And I was like, I am in way too much pain to even move.
Holy shit.
So I started like getting super lazy with it, and I cropped it so it was just his head instead of his whole body.
Mm-hmm.
And even that, I was like, I can't keep doing this. So I just I left it where it was, and I was like, never mind. And it was a good idea, but
right,
fell apart.
And so I guess that's one of my questions that I wanted to present to you guys is that during your art process of creating work, when do you when is that point where you finally just say, I'm going to leave this piece alone because it's not going where I want it to go? So for that one, for example, for you, it was more so the pain aspect.
Yeah, well, I mean, just in general with my stuff, I'll work on it until I start to like I'll climb the mountain of working on it.
Mm-hmm.
And when I get to the top is when I think it's probably done. But then I keep going until I'm starting to come back down to the point where it stops being good.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as I get to that point, I'm like, if I keep adding to this, I'm going to kill it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd better just leave people wanting a little more than give them too much.
Mm.
So that's kind of where I stop.
Mm-hmm.
What about you guys?
Yeah, like for me, with like the Assassin's Creed piece that I just finished,
Mm-hmm.
like I was going through like trying to make it look just with like the Photoshop filters when it was done,
Mm-hmm.
and I kept realizing you're making it worse.
Yeah,
Yeah, so just I stopped.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, you know.
I think for me, it's at what point I become fatigued with working on it, and where, you know, I'm sure you guys have also encountered this same thing where you, at some point, you don't really know. Like you'll know sometimes that if you keep adding to it, it'll just get worse. But then there's sometimes that you'll add to it, and you don't even know if what you did was better or worse. And so that's around that time I usually am just like, all right, I think I'm done. I think I'm done with this. I need to move on to my next thing, because like I could be working on one piece for like a month, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
at that point, I'm just like, all right, I'm spending too much time on this.
Yeah, like I still have the problem where like I have to zoom in on a piece to like get every small detail, and then like I'll change a lot, then I'll zoom out and like do like the before and after. Like I didn't change anything from the normal perspective, and it's like crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was working on the Batman. I did a Batman poster for this year,
Mm-hmm.
and like I was working on like individual tiny little lines of like stubble, and I was like, why am I doing this? No one can see this.
You can see it.
I'll know it's there or not
Yeah.
there.
Like I've been going back and like touching up some of my older pieces and coloring them, like the Assassin's Creed one.
Mm-hmm.
So like the lines on them are they're not good. So like I've been going back and like touching them all up in Manga Studio,
Mm-hmm.
and it takes forever.
Mm-hmm.
So just sometimes just like if I don't think they'll notice it, I just like screw it, just move on.
One of the things that's been tripping me up a little bit is that I've been trying to record my process. And so I've been doing that for a few of my pieces, and I want to start making that a standard thing that I start doing so I can have more content for my channel. And, you know, there's something fucking wrong with my computer, because it'll for like a good solid 10 or 15 minutes, I'll be, you know, working in Photoshop, and, you know, albeit I have a document in there that's like 11 by 17, 600 DPI. It really doesn't need to be that many DPI. It just matters.
It does.
It really doesn't.
Yeah, why do you choose to go 600 in case you want to make it bigger than 11 by 17 later on?
Mainly so that when I do bring it down to 300, that a lot of the detail is brought down a little bit. But I'm starting to realize that maybe that's causing issues for the computer, because, you know, as I'll be going on 15 minutes further in, the document will chug a little bit, and so I'll be recording, and then all of a sudden, like I'll do a stroke, and then I'll have to wait like a couple of seconds for it to show up. I'm just
Yeah, it happens with me too.
like, oh my god, this is not okay. So
I think also the recording thing does it too, because
Yeah.
when I tried to do that before, it just slowed everything down.
exactly, and I didn't used to have that same issue before, so I don't know what the problem is.
We got to spend $1 million on a Mac Pro.
I really would
Yeah.
like to have a Mac Pro.
What are you using for RAM? Let's get real nerdy so we isolate a huge section of our audience.
Yes, exactly. I have 16 gigs of GDDR3 RAM.
Whoa, you should be fine.
I know, and so I think the graphics card on my computer is failing, because even with doing certain simple things, it'll just slug and slow down. So it didn't used to be like that. So I do have to take it to the Mac store. But the problem with that is that I won't have a computer for a good 1 or 2 days. And that, you know, there's some people that's like, oh, it's no big deal. It's like, no,
First world problem.
I got shit to do. All right. There are things that are happening that I need to do. And so and then I have to take it to the store too. So it's like, hey, Dad, can I borrow your car and go down South Shore Plaza and fucking give them my computer, then have to go back again? It's like,
Yeah, that's I don't know. That's why I use a PC for 90% of my stuff. And last year before Comic-Con, it just crashed.
Oh no!
I lost last year before Rhode Island Comic-Con. I lost everything 2 weeks before the show and had to redo most of it.
Oh
That
my
sucks.
god!
Yeah, it was. And like the other day, I was walking through where I have my desk and stuff in my room, and I accidentally kicked my external hard drive that was on the floor.
Oh no!
And it unplugged from the computer without like me hitting eject or anything.
Mhm.
Oh no!
And then I plugged it back in. And there was just nothing. It was just there was no response. Like it wasn't responding at all.
Oh my god!
It was a good
That does
10
hurt.
minutes. It was a good 10 minutes of panicking until like everything showed back up. But I was like, all right, let me back this up in 4 different spots.
So life lesson: back your shit up.
Yep.
Oh fuck! What are you running over there? So what kind of computer? You're using a PC to do most of your work?
Yeah, I go between if I could show you if this was a visual medium and I had a webcam and it wasn't 1995 in my room. I've got I think it's an HP. No, it's a Dell. I got a Dell.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, and I'm currently on the Dell, but if I turn to my left, I have a Mac Tower. I have no idea what it is. They gave it to me when I left my old job. They were just like, "You can take your computer." And I was like, "All right." All right.
That's fucking
So
awesome.
Yeah, it's
It's probably a Mac Pro then if it's a tower.
yeah. I could turn it on and find out.
It's a
I'll do that.
Mac Pro, yeah.
Yeah, it's a heavy tower.
Yeah. Yeah, we used to have people come in with their Mac Pros, and those things last a long time because you can still like swap parts out. Yeah, you can hear it turn
There it
on.
is. I was like, something's majestic. Oh, that was me.
Yeah.
So how are you guys feeling about Comic-Con? Because I'm pretty I've only done the Providence one last year, and then this one. So I'm like,
This one's gonna be way better.
are you sure?
Oh yes.
Well, for us, it will be way better.
Yeah.
Because Rhode Island for us, I mean, I remember we were talking about it while we were there. I remember looking over and seeing you selling prints like every 5 seconds. I was like, all right, he is doing really well.
Yeah, I had a really good experience, and like I'm apprehensive to ever try it again because I want to be like, all right, I did really good once, and that's where I want to leave it.
Mm-hmm.
Boston was really good last year.
Mm-hmm.
Like Rhode Island was my only horrible con that I've ever had.
Yeah,
So-
that was really bad for us. Like
I
remember,
sold nothing on Sunday. Not one thing.
Yeah, I think I sold like a bookmark and some other bullshit on that Sunday. It was not pleasant.
Like Will and I did so bad, our taxes were like $1.20 that we had to pay.
And by the way, that taxes thing was bullshit.
Yeah, it sure was.
I don't want to deal with that again. So
It's
I'm probably
annoying.
not going next year.
I'm not gonna say exactly what happened, but the government can suck it because they may have gotten all of my taxes.
Oh fuck. Fuck.
Cut that out, quick! It's a Mac Pro,
Yep.
guys. Yeah,
Yeah, you got a big daddy over there.
32 gigabytes of RAM.
Jeez.
But like, it's weird going between. Like, I like doing my illustrations on my PC just because I got used to it.
Mhm.
But then, like at work, I'm working on a Cintiq.
Oh yeah.
Now, I had never experienced this before February. It's like drawing on a dream. Like I can't.
What model Cintiq is it?
The 22 HD.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so nice. And then like I get home and I'm like, fuck, I had to use this stupid Wacom. Like, I don't want to use my crappy little tablet now after working at work.
Right. And I have the Cintiq 24 HD Touch. So I have like,
Ah,
you have to come over and check it out.
yeah. It just
It
hearing
is-
you say it sounds expensive. I should
Oh
give
my
you
God,
$10 every time you say it.
It's really fucking expensive.
It's expensive and excessive.
I'm still paying it off.
Yeah.
So that is a thing. Lesson for you guys at home: if you're planning on purchasing a Cintiq, probably get the 22 HD.
Try and get it used.
Try to get it used. They are really expensive unless you like make a lot of money doing illustration or design outside of work. Then you should consider one of those options. I went for the Mac Daddy just because I wanted to really just go all the way with it. I had a very YOLO moment there, and so I decided to do it. I don't regret it at all. I think it's been really instrumental in helping me kind of get into the groove of working and explore more of what the programs that we use can do. But that also leads me to my next question: is what programs are you guys using to do a lot of your work? So Zach, you mentioned before that you were using Manga Studio.
Yeah.
So what do you typically use for a lot of your illustration work?
I use Manga Studio for all the line work if I'm doing it digitally, like all the inking, because I really like the line quality that you can get in there.
Mm-hmm.
Then I use Photoshop for all the coloring, and if I'm penciling, I'll pencil in Photoshop digitally.
And what is do the programs work well with each other? So if you make something in Manga Studio and then try to import it into Photoshop, what's that process like?
You can export it as a layered file, so you can just export it as a PSD file, and it works fine. Like I did notice though, if you're working with, this might have just been a glitch between like maybe my Mac and my PC, but I saved a colored file in Manga Studio, both CMYK, and the Manga Studio save file ended up like slightly brighter than when it opened in Photoshop, so that was a bit weird. So I try to just stick with line work now. Yeah. In Manga.
Yeah.
See, I've never used anything other than the creative suite. So like Manga Studio is like 100% foreign to me. I'm I don't know, I'm almost afraid to use those because like I've gotten so used to like sketching in Photoshop or sketching on paper and scanning it in that like I don't know, I feel like Photoshop was a huge learning curve for me to draw directly into that. But no, that's awesome that you've got that kind of versatility because that frightens the hell out of me.
Yeah, like, you can get like the line quality in Manga Studio is so good. Like you could it's really good for inking, and you can use vector layers too in it. So,
and it'll automatically convert those lines into vectors, won't it?
Yeah, you can do a raster or a vector layer.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm thinking about getting into that. What is it, like $50?
$50.
Yeah,
to buy it. That's it.
That's
really cool.
Pretty good.
But then I'll usually if I'm doing like a ink page, sometimes I'll usually pencil it in Photoshop, then print it out and ink it traditionally, just so I have something to sell.
Yeah. I need to do more originals. I'm thinking about doing that for the Miss Marvel piece, just like taking the original, line work and then just going over it with pen.
Yeah. Plus, inking is so meditative. I love inking.
My problem is that like I don't really have any desk space.
Yeah, you don't.
So my Cintiq is taking up my drawing table.
That entire
is drawing table. Yeah. And then like my iMac, I have a 27-inch iMac. That's
Jesus, man, what are you living? You're living in a palace over there with your my giant Cintiq and my giant monitor.
Go big or go home.
I guess. You're doing both.
That's true. That is true. So I wanted to like set things up so that like I have an in-house studios, like I have really high grade equipment. So the next thing I have to get is like a really high quality printer, because the printing process. Before we move on to like the other fun stuff, like the movies and stuff, I want to talk a second about the printing process. I use Photoshop and Illustrator for most of my stuff, and I'm thinking about getting Manga Studio because, like what Zach said, that those are really helpful. And like for $50, I mean, that's not bad at all.
Nope.
So I'm thinking about doing that.
Yeah.
But for printing, there are just so many options you have for printing that it's kind of hard to really know what the best option is. we've been using these guys called Alpha Graphics for a little while, and we just had a well, we had a pricing from last year that was very dissimilar to what we had from our last quote that we got from them recently, and so we had to get that figured out. But
Really?
yeah, it was really strange. Like, we asked
You
for a
did-
quote.
Are you
Go ahead.
dealing with the one downtown?
Yeah.
Downtown Boston?
Yeah, it's,
All right.
it's not. It's like by North Station.
Yep.
Yeah, so you know about them.
Oh yeah, no, I use them.
Oh yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah, they're great.
But when we asked for our estimate, we ended up getting a very different number than we.
It's
we
very
got.
expensive.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
just like,
Wow.
why is this so different? And so maybe there was a misunderstanding of like what the pricing model was when we got it, because I think the original quote we got was from Brandon at some point,
Yep.
and so
Brandon just did all my stuff.
yeah, man, I should mention that. I was like, I know Pat, like we hang out.
Yeah, like
Give us free stuff.
Give us free stuff.
he won't give you anything.
No.
But yeah, no, I just got all my stuff. I had my roommate pick it up for me like Thursday,
Nice.
and it like the quality. I feel like it looks better than they looked last year.
No, the quality is excellent. I'm very happy with the quality of their prints. But yeah, I guess that answers the question. Like, who were you using for printing?
Yeah, I was using Paul, and then Paul went on vacation, so Brandon took over.
Gotcha. Not
But
bad.
yeah, no, the place is good, and my quote was reasonable.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm getting less stuff printed than I did last year.
Yeah.
And like the sizes are smaller. I'm doing a lot of 8x10s this year.
Oh, okay.
Like I feel like like most people that came by that didn't buy something were like, "Do you have anything smaller than 11x17?" And I was like, "No, of course not."
Why the hell would I do that?
And like I did have a couple 8x10s, but this year I have mostly 8x10s.
Yeah, I think I want to start doing more 8x10s because I'm looking at my own wall. I'm like, well, I don't really have much more room for any other prints, so I imagine other people probably don't either.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, most of my stuff is 11x17 though.
Yeah, like most prints that I'll pick up at Comic-Con
Yeah.
are 11x17, but I don't know if that's just because like I never had the choice.
Right.
Like
Well, it's kind of like
Like-
the standard, what everyone does, because
right.
that's the comic page.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I like, and like sometimes I'll look at the like I did that Disney series,
Mm-hmm.
which I thought like I don't know, I really liked them at first, and now I'm looking at them, and I've been looking at them for like 3 months, and I'm just like I kind of don't like these at all. But like sometimes looking at those, I feel like they're a little too small as 8x10s.
Right.
So it's a weird balance. I might get more printed this week. I'm not sure.
I hate that. I hate when that happens though. When you look at stuff that you did not even that long ago, and you're just like, I don't like this as much anymore.
I'm like that all the time.
You are like that all the time. As soon as you finish, you're like, fuck this.
I don't like it.
Dude, Zach, you did the Rick and Morty piece
Yeah.
this year, and I love it.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
thank you.
pretty great.
I was like, man, I really want to do a Rick and Morty. I don't want to do it because I feel like I'll lose a little bit of it. Which is like I've had people ask me for like Calvin and Hobbes commissions,
Yeah.
which I always kind of feel weird about. But like one of my buddies was like, I want like a big poster to put on my wall, so I drew him one. And like I worry about that disconnect from the original to trying to draw my own. Like the original has such like a distinct feeling when you look at it, and it just like looks like it couldn't be done any other way.
Mm.
And then I'll find that when I do stuff a lot of the time, it doesn't have that same feeling that the original has, and like I feel like it loses a huge chunk of the impact of the artwork.
Right.
That's as deep as I get, guys. That's it.
That's all you got. Yeah, I think we should take a moment to discuss Guardians of the Galaxy since we've all seen it now.
Yeah. All right. So is this going to be like a spoiler section, or do I have to try and explain the movie without talking about it?
I'm gonna leave that to you guys. If you do, I would say definitely put a spoiler alert on. If you guys at home probably listening to this is at the 25-minute mark, there's gonna likely be at least some type of spoiler. So if you don't want any of that, skip to whenever the fuck.
Yeah, see, like
You'll put a
like I want to talk about the ending because yeah.
Okay.
The ending after the credits ending?
Yeah, like you remember how you were like, it baffles me that people still leave the movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
I
what are you
said
doing?
the same thing last night. Like my girlfriend and I went to see it and like people were just getting up and leaving and I was like,
You idiots.
do you not know? What but yeah, so I think a spoiler alert is in full effect.
Yes. Spoiler alert, by the way. We're still spoiling shit if you're still listening.
If you haven't seen it, stop listening and go see it and then pick up as soon as you get home. Yeah. But having said that, you guys, I don't know. I think something is wrong with me.
Why?
Everybody loves this movie.
You don't like it?
I like it, but I don't love it. Like, I don't know, man. Like it was entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
I love Chris Pratt. I think he's wicked funny.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in it was good, and like for some reason, like I'd rather watch Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3 was the fucking shit.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. But like it didn't. And everyone was comparing it to Star Wars, and I'm like, Star Wars is like, you can't touch it. So like, when everyone starts comparing things to something else, and then you get these expectations in your head, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna be the best movie I'll ever see. And I went in there, and it was good, but there was some stuff I like wasn't fully on board with, and there was some stuff that I absolutely loved.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I feel weird. I know how much you guys liked it, so I want to hear your take on the movie and why it's so great. Because I have this weird jaded opinion of it for some reason.
So I really liked it because it incorporated and encapsulated the idea of what Marvel movies are now. So like they incorporate comedy really well. They incorporate beautiful visuals really well. They have a lot of really great framing. The cinematography is always great. The CG, of course, is like unbelievable. Rocket Raccoon was all CG, but it looked fucking real.
Yeah.
And I mean, there were certain parts that were kind of like a little cheesy to me. That was kind of like a cliche, I should say. So like how Gamora, that was her name?
Gamora.
She was like, oh, the warrior. She was, fierce and didn't take any shit. But like how she was kind of giving in when she started hearing the music, and then she was like, oh no, fuck that. Like I could see it coming from a mile away that she was going to start having at least some type of attraction towards Star-Lord, and so
yeah, I don't think if they tried to mask that, I don't think they did it well at all.
They didn't at all. So that's my only gripe with it. Other than that, I thought she was a really cool character and she fucking kicked ass.
Oh yeah,
and I thought Batista's acting was actually pretty good.
I was shocked.
Yeah,
I was like I guess I didn't realize it was him. I don't know. It's weird. Like before going into this, I like had forgotten that he was in it.
Yeah,
and then like I was out with my friends the other day, and they were like, "Oh yeah, Batista's in it," and I was like, "Wait, like?" And you saw it, and it was good. He was like, "Yeah, it was great." It's just like.
He had a lot of funny moments where he was like, it was like everything. No, they take everything literally. It's like everything must be literal. And then he was like, nothing flies over his head. He was like, oh yeah, that one's gonna fly right over your head. He was like, nothing flies over my head. I won't let it. I'm too fast.
Yeah, it's just brilliant.
So I was like, all right, this is well done.
Yeah, I loved like thinking about the parts of the movie, and I take them individually.
Mm-hmm.
Like the beginning of the movie just makes you tear up like immediately.
Yes. Yeah.
Where I'm just like, oh great, like what am I in Frozen? Like why is this making me cry this quick?
Up, right?
Yeah. Oh my god, let's not talk about Up. I had like PTSD after that movie where I was just like, I just want an old man to be friends with, and like, I'm sorry about your wife.
Coming to my cellar.
Like, it's just it's so sad. All right. But Guardians, like taking those parts of the movie individually and like looking at them separately, I liked all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I put them together, it's just kind of like, I don't know, the glue that's holding those together felt weird. But like Rocket Raccoon, like visually looked awesome. Bradley Cooper did an amazing job doing the voice acting.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like his relationship to Groot, and his kind of understanding of what he is,
right?
Like it got kind of heavy sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. Like that part where he was in the bar and like really outraged, and he was just like, I'm tired of people calling me, rodent and vermin and shit like that. He's like, how would you feel, if someone took you apart and put you together and kept doing that over and over again? I never asked for this. Like, I kind of teared up a little bit.
Yeah, it was intense.
Yeah, I was like, shit, man. I really hope they explore that aspect of him more in the future, because there's a lot to that. I mean, I don't know that much about Rocket Raccoon, but they did hint at kind of some of that with like when Star-Lord was in that area, he just got blasted with that orange shit. I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, and he's like looking at his back and all the
bolts and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, there's more to like what's going on inside of him than we know, I think.
Yeah. Did you guys have you guys read any of the comics? Because issue 1 just came out, right?
I didn't read any of them.
Like
the new Rocket comic just came out. I've read a bit of the comics, so
yeah. I haven't read it yet. I looked for it yesterday. I went and I tried to do some comic shopping, but yeah, I was gonna pick it up. I haven't read it yet though.
It's
and
really
Scotty Young did all the art for it, right?
And he wrote it too.
Oh shit.
That's awesome. Yeah, he's gonna be at Boston.
Yes, he is. I'm
gonna swoon for a a while.
Hey, we should all go out for drinks, huh? Yeah, just talk about
come on,
stuff.
Man. Can you teach me how to draw?
Teach me how to do good things. Oh man, but yeah, I think I really enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy. I was surprised that I enjoyed it as much, because I didn't really go in expecting that I would like it that much, just because like I don't really have an affliction towards the characters at all. But
yeah,
it was enjoyable.
Indeed.
What was your favorite thing about that movie, Zach?
All
of it. No,
all of it. I really liked all of it. I liked when he flew a spaceship with a spaceship.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
Yeah.
See, what the hell? Why didn't I like this movie?
I really love that weapon that dude had, that he whistled, and it was just like,
oh, the arrow? Yeah,
I was like,
the arrow.
Holy fuck.
That was cool.
Wrecked the entire platoon of people with like a fucking arrow. That was really cool.
Michael Rooker.
Yeah, I was like, oh no, they didn't. Oh no, they didn't.
Merle.
Merle and Durl.
It was like Space Merle.
Space Merle.
That is kind of exactly what he was.
Yeah. He was fucking awesome.
Oh man.
Anyway, do you guys have other topics you'd like to address in our nice little podcast here?
Can I say spoiler alert big time? Like this is the ultimate spoiler alert?
Sure.
Zach, what the fuck was going on at the end of that movie? Like why all right, if you haven't seen it and you're for some reason listening, at the end of that movie, the post credit scene, is it Benicio del Toro? That's his name, right? Guillermo del Toro is the actor, right? No, the director. Yeah. All right. Okay, we got it. So he's sitting there drinking like a margarita, and and like his whole world is like blown up, and he's just like in ruins, and like his museum is like destroyed because he's the collector. And then it's fucking Howard the Duck. Yeah. And he's just there. Like it's no big deal that Howard the Duck is like, he's the weirdest character I've ever seen in my life.
Seth Green did the voice for him, actually.
Oh, that's
really
amazing.
Yeah, that's what people are reporting.
Huh.
That's pretty excellent.
Yeah.
Actually.
I mean, I don't know. I've been playing the Lego Marvel Superheroes game.
Yeah.
Nice.
And Howard the Duck is a character in the game.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's one of the unlockables.
What the fuck?
Yeah. It's a fun game.
No, I
love
have it, but I haven't been
superheroes.
playing it. I need to start playing it though.
Yeah, dude, just be Iron Man and blow everything up, and then just take all the coins and then just use them to buy Howard the Duck.
Shit.
I don't know.
I just like that
What-
Howard the Duck is now canon in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah,
I
like
think
he
that's
does
so great.
exist.
Yeah, that's crazy. I remember we were talking about it when the movie ended. He was like, he's actually canon, and
He's canon. Yeah,
and
he's
then
canon.
you was like,
He
yes,
exists.
and then Dana was like, no, of course not. I was like, you guys are confusing me. I don't know what's going on.
Well, I think he was saying like no to like they're not gonna like make him a movie, like give him an actual movie or anything.
They probably would at this point.
They
Oh, they're-
already did.
They're not
George Lucas
Yeah.
made it, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I heard there were a lot of boobage in that. I'm okay
Yeah,
with
it's
that.
not for kids,
Not for kids.
which is weird because he looks just like a DuckTales character.
Yep.
So what would be your ideal next superhero movie?
Who are you asking?
Both of you.
Zach, what do you think?
Deadpool.
that footage that they leaked was fucking awesome.
Oh yeah, that footage confused me a lot because I was like, I wasn't expecting it to be animated,
Right.
it was-
like
Right.
It was
I wasn't
cheaper.
expecting it to be CG. Yeah, and well, didn't they use Blur though?
Yeah.
Blur is not cheap.
Well, the guy who's directing the movie owns the company, so
Holy shit.
All right,
didn't know that.
there we go.
Yeah.
Because the Blur Studios, they were gonna make the Goon comic book movie not too long ago, and then it just kind of fell by the wayside. But Eric Powell's The Goon. I don't know if you guys have read that at all, but that's an awesome comic.
I haven't read that.
yeah.
It's very good. He's gonna be at Boston Comic Con,
Ooh.
which is really cool.
That is really cool.
Man, this sucks that I'm gonna be like stuck at my table the whole time. Like I just want to go around and like talk to people.
Right. Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that one. That's one of the things that does suck about being at conventions and kind of being at your table. But I mean, you get a chance every once in a while to kind of walk around.
Yeah.
And if you needed, I could spot your table. But you're kind of like far away.
I'm sharing a table this year.
Oh, nice. Who are you sharing?
My roommate is an illustrator.
Badass.
And after I had such a good experience last year, I guess I wouldn't shut up about it. So I was somehow convinced him to share a table with me, and he's never really done any kind of conventions or sold any of his art for money. So this is like a as much as last year was a first for me going to the con. This is a whole bunch of firsts for him to put his art out there and like see what people think of it, have people buying it and looking at it like in a public forum. Like that's pretty nerve-wracking.
That's very I remember like the first time I ever did like a convention. It's crazy. It's the worst.
Yeah. I will say though, the end of last year's Rhode Island Comic Con, my self-esteem was through the roof.
Yeah.
I was like, this isn't like I feel great.
Yeah. No, it's definitely one of the really good things about doing these is you afterwards, especially if you do well. You're just
You do
like,
well,
"Holy
yeah.
shit." You're like, yeah, people want my shit.
Yeah.
I just wish conventions were more consistent because like it's so hard to tell what people like.
Yeah.
So like at one convention, like one print will do really well, but at the next convention, no one will buy that print.
right.
And it's weird.
Frustrating.
Yeah.
See, that's why I did all new prints.
True.
Yeah. So I'm gonna just tell people where I am at Comic Con.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Definitely a plug. Let people know how they can find you online as well.
Well, it's just patrickdennisonline.com. You want to be my Facebook friend? Pat Dennis. You want to visit me at Comic Con? Artist Alley table D812.
That day.
Yeah, and I'm far away. I'm bummed that I'm that far away from you guys.
Yeah,
You're kinda-
we're kind of bummed about that.
You're
too,
kind of near
actually.
Scotty Young though.
Yeah, it's
Am I?
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Swoon.
You might have just jizzed a little.
A little bit.
Well.
A little bit. That was a funny line in Guardians too, where he was like, a litlittle pee is coming out of me right now. Like that line killed me.
Yeah.
And I like look around and it's like me and an 8-year-old laughing.
It's pretty excellent.
Yeah. Yeah, where are you guys?
We're table C306.
C306.
We're near the concessions.
Oh, hey. That's good.
Yeah, near where people will be buying overpriced food.
Yeah. See, like, it's weird because last year we were near the concessions and the bathrooms at Rhode Island, and that was like a hugely trafficked area.
Yep. Like you would think that would be like bad, but like no, it's actually really good that's
Yeah.
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 Oh.
No.
So where can people check you out online, Zach? Your website and social media, etc.
My website is zneworth.com.
Mm-hmm.
On Facebook, Zach Neuwirth Illustration. On Twitter, Z Neuwirth. On Instagram, Z Neuwirth31. So there we go.
What does the 31 stand for?
You see my hockey number.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nerd.
See, you always wonder about these things. I think hockey makes you kind of like the opposite of a nerd, right? Nerds don't play hockey.
I don't know what kind of nerds.
I'm a sport nerd.
He's a sport nerd. That's right.
Yeah.
See, I don't understand organized sports. I'm just trying to learn about Quidditch right now. I'm a little late to the party reading Harry Potter books.
Okay. There's also esports.
Esports, what are those?
What?
What do you mean, like NHL '94?
Just people playing video games against each other.
Yes.
Oh,
it's the best thing.
Yeah.
Ever.
See,
so like Evo.
Okay.
Yeah, MLG tournaments were like Call of Duty and Battlefield and shit, and
like every time I play Gears of War online, I want to kill myself and most of 10-year-olds everywhere. like I can't. Like, I feel like you're way more into games than me, Zach, and Will, and like
Will.
I just just Will.
Well, I mean, I like games, I just don't have time really.
Yeah, I figured you were both super into them, but there's like I don't know, there's some kind of disconnect with me right now with video games. Like, I know you're playing through Last of Us.
Yeah, I played on PS3 already.
Yeah. Is it like I played it for maybe 4 hours.
Okay.
And that's as far as I got.
Are you playing on PS4 or PS3?
PS3. It started to get hard, so I stopped playing it. Where I was like, I don't know if I want to keep going with this. But
it's so good, dude. You got to finish it. It's like that.
Now it's just Grand Theft Auto, man. Like these sandbox games come out and I'm like, this is the one that I'll beat. And then I put it in, and as soon as I have the ability to like steal a fire truck and drive to the top of a mountain, I'm done. Like, that's it.
That was actually very fun to do.
Yeah, right? And like, if I have 10 minutes before I have to go to work, or if I have like a little bit of downtime, I'll just be like, you know what? How fast can this game load? The answer is not fast.
This is true. And then for people who are listening to this podcast, you're most likely looking at the YouTube channel, which is good. Or you could be on iTunes. I don't know. I don't know where this is going to end up. But youtube.com/jblaze06 is where you'll find my stuff. JAEBLAZE 06. And then there's blackoni.com.
Baloney.
There's blackoniblog.com, which is the gaming site.
Baloney blog.
And then there is social media. So facebook.com/blackoni.
Nice.
I'm done.
No, what? You're not going to keep going?
No.
Oh. And there's Instagram, just at blackoni. And Twitter at blackoni6. Yeah.
That's a lot of stuff.
That's mad
Jesus
shit,
Christ,
dude.
Will.
I don't know where to put all of it. Like, check out all my social media. Drop the bomb.
It's like a social media resume.
Basically.
Like, when I finish a piece, it's exhausting just to put it up online everywhere. Like, that alone takes a half hour.
A fucking Tumblr account, so it's like JAE. It's JBlaze06.
Oh yeah, on Tumblr. Fun Time Snack on Tumblr. That's me.
You guys are using Tumblr too? What the fuck?
Yeah.
gotta be
I like
everywhere.
post it on Facebook and like only my friends can see it. It's like I have no way of like showing my stuff to people. I'm so lazy.
That's the next step, dude. We got to get you on that.
Well, like last year, everyone was like, "You have a website," and I was like, "Huh?"
I remember that.
I was like,
So
"No."
what's that?
I was like, "It doesn't work." And then, like, I didn't have a website until like I got laid off in January. I was like, "I got to get my shit together."
I was like, how do you have a job? How did you get that job?
Dude, I fell into the job. I don't even understand.
I don't
Like I remember taking art classes, and my graphic design teacher was like, "Never, ever be a graphic designer."
What?
And I was like, "Why?" And he's like, "Cause you're not good at it."
Oh,
and your
shit.
and he was like, "And your
Dick.
craft." He was like, "Your craft is terrible."
What the fuck?
Will, you know what I do for a living?
Worst teacher ever.
I am the senior designer at a pool toy company.
It's like, what the fuck? Who's all right? First of
Yeah.
all,
Well, all right. In his defense, I'm pretty terrible. I've gotten much better, but in school, man, like trying to like looking back at the stuff that I did in school, like I was an animation student.
Mhm.
Like I went to school for illustration and animation and creative writing, and then I just kind of stuck to animation and I did that. So like I had to take these 4 required graphic design classes and like typography classes, and I was like, fuck this, I'm never gonna need this. I need it every day.
That's so.
Yeah. So cherish it, kids. Cherish your time in school.
Yes, and work your ass off. And party.
How long do your podcasts usually go?
Well, my other podcasts go a little longer than that. We can actually end this podcast now.
Well, I don't want to end it. I like talking to you guys.
Aww.
All right, calm down.
No, I've had podcasts go for 2 hours before. Usually they're about an hour and a half to hour and 45 minutes. So I
Nice.
have another one scheduled today at around 3.
Look at you.
Yeah, I'm fucking.
You're a busy man. You're like, you've got your finger on the pulse of the media community.
A little insane.
Zach, are you starting a slow clap?
I thought that was you. I was like,
No, it's not me. He's in the other room.
I know. I should have heard that, but I have headphones on, right? I'm like
Right.
in the zone. I
Stop clapping.
thought he was hitting someone. Thought he slapped one of the hookers that he.
It's just a
Whoa.
swarm of mosquitoes in the other room. Go. Yes.
Yes, do it. So I guess my other question would be, what inspired you to become an artist?
I hated everything else.
Oh,
Jeez, that's
No.
real encouraging for everyone at home.
I really liked psychology, but I kept getting C's in it, so I couldn't really do that.
Oh,
That's about it.
hilarious.
I like that answer. That's an answer you can respect. I was good at it, so I just did it.
Yeah. Figure I might as well.
I love that answer. That answer was awesome.
What about you?
My mom used to draw
Oh.
a lot. So that kind of gave me a little push when I was younger. And then when I got to college and everyone was like, you have to figure out what you want to do forever, I was like, oh, God damn it. So it was essentially me just being like, well, I'm already kind of good at this one thing. I'm just going to keep going with it. Because it's less work for me to improve this skill than it is for me to try and pick up a whole new one.
Right.
So I just stuck with what I was good at or what I knew a little bit about, and I just did it because I didn't want to do anything else.
That's pretty legit. Pretty legit. So I decided to be an artist pretty early on in my life, actually. I think I used to hang out with my brother a lot. He used to live outside of Boston, so I would visit there during the weekends, and we would make up stories, and we would go outside and like use sticks as swords and like fight each other and shit. And we would like throw imaginary fireballs at each other like all the time.
Nice.
And so we would draw stuff every once in a while too. So we'd do that. We'd play basketball. We'd play games. We'd draw, and I just really loved doing that. And At some point we just like made characters and like made little stories with them based off of Dragon Ball. So like Dragon Ball was our shit, and it still is. And from that point on, like around that time, I was exploring Metal Gear Solid for the first time. And for you guys at home who don't know what Metal Gear Solid is, if for some reason you don't, in which case you are fucking insane,
Put down the podcast.
Put down the podcast. It's one of the best games of all time, in my opinion.
You just made it sound like a drug.
It's so
I started
good.
exploring Metal Gear Solid.
I never turned back from then. But everything about it was at such a high production value at the time, and like it really gave me a sense of like what it was to be an artist, because it had such the concept art alone was just like, I want to do this, like I want this to be the thing I do. So like originally I wanted to be a game director.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I would still like to do that, but I think the path I'm on now is a very different one, but it can feed into that very easily. Because the world of comics and illustration and making stories, that all feeds into making games.
Right.
So that was kind of how I decided to become an artist. Is like back when I was like maybe 11 or 12, I played Metal Gear. I was like, you know what, this is what I'm going to do.
That's insane. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Like to know that young, like to see something that like I want to make that, like
yeah,
that. That idea is really, really cool. I like that.
I mean, again, I'm a little insane, but
well, I guess also what?
Nah, he's not insane. You're not insane, Will.
Insane in the membrane. I had to do that. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all right.
But what were you about to say, Zach?
I don't remember.
God damn it.
Come on, Zach.
Oh,
Don't hold
what was it? Oh wait, I got it. But also for me, like going to New York, my first New York Comic Con in 2010, Will?
Oh man,
I think that was the first one. Yeah, I think it was the first one I went to. That's when I wanted to found I wanted to do like comic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just because like the culture that was there is like, this is awesome. So it's like
is that when you decided to start going to cons?
Yeah,
how did you guys get caught up in that?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, it is.
Why I think we just all decided to go to New York Comic Con one year. I don't remember why we just did it.
Yeah, we just kind of went for it. We were just like, you know what? We've always wanted to go to a convention, so here we go.
So we went to that one. Like you had graduated, right? You had just graduated.
Yeah, 2010 I graduated.
Yeah, so then from there we've gone to New York Comic Con every year since. So.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
when did you guys decide to get your own table?
Man,
I did a small convention. I think in 2011 was my first one, and then our first Boston one was 2012. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
You
we
guys
just
are like seasoned pros.
this year is we've done our most cons. I think we're doing 5, 6, something like that.
Something like that. I think we've already done like 3.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we have Boston. We have Boston next week, then Twin Tiers Comic Con in Elmira the week after, and then Granite Con
Yeah.
in September.
Now the Granite State Con. What state is the Granite State?
That's New Hampshire.
Mhm.
Thank you. That's awesome.
So we're really excited about it. But yeah, I'm kind of like, I'm nervous because like at each new con I want to have like more new stuff to show.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And since the last one, I think I have like 1 or 2 new things since then. And I'm just like, I wish I had more. Like, I wish I had the time to be able to like put down way more projects because, there's certain people that we'll see at like all these conventions all the time. And we're just like, now we've gotten to the point where like we see them, we're like, hey, what's up, man? Like we met Dan, I forget his last name, but he's been like working on the Transformers comics for like the past 11 years.
That's so cool.
And he's a seasoned vet. He knows his shit. And like I see him at conventions now all the time. He's like, hey, Will, what's up? I'm like, oh my God, he's acknowledging me.
Swoon.
Yeah. So it's really cool to kind of be a part of that now as opposed to kind of just a fan. It's like now I'm like in that circle of people.
That's that's awesome.
Yeah. So that alone is worth it, I think, for me. And
I really
aside from
turned the tables on that interview.
yeah,
It's like, let me ask you a question.
yeah, that was a good one. It's a very good one. Yeah. So what I think we were talking. I don't know how we got sidetracked, but what would be the next?
Me.
What would be the next movie, superhero movie or comic book based movie that you'd like to see?
I
think-
kind of
Go ahead.
Deadpool. Like, I think Zach hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
that test footage from Comic-Con was awesome.
yeah, it was incredible.
And like, I'm a big fan of Ryan Reynolds.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can make a Green Lantern movie if you want. It's not for everybody. I thought it was pretty good. I don't know. I'm universally panned across the internet for it.
Yeah, right. It's like
That
fuck
movie.
this guy.
This guy liked Green Lantern. Get him.
Get him.
But no, I thought it looked so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really impressed with it. I want a Miss Marvel movie.
Really?
I think you'll probably get that or Captain Marvel
Yeah.
soon-ish.
Because not enough people like know about her, and she's like a really cool character, and she's really like I love her costume designs.
Well, I think now that the Kree are officially in the universe,
Yeah,
I think it won't be too long until they get her story going.
yeah, and like I mean, what female lead do we have in movies for comic books right now?
None.
Nope.
I'm all right. We had Catwoman a while back, which was a terrible movie.
Halle Berry.
Yeah,
Ugh.
try
That's
not
the-
to remember that.
That's the only lead that I can. None of them are
Well,
leads.
what about
one.
Elektra?
Yeah,
Also
yeah.
horrible.
That movie.
that movie. And that's pretty much.
Well, I mean, you're gonna have Wonder Woman in Dawn of Justice or whatever the hell it is.
It's not her
Yeah.
own movie though. She's gonna make a cameo in the fucking movie.
Really? Isn't that guy like? There's so many cameos in that movie. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Green-
Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and then they got Jason, whatever his face is from
Momoa, yeah.
yeah, from Game of Thrones.
Supposed to be Aquaman, right? Yeah. Then I think Cyborg's in it too.
Ooh.
Who's Cyborg? Who's
I
playing
don't
him?
remember who it is. I just know they're trying to pack in as much as possible to get it going for the Justice League movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna rush it, and they're gonna. I don't want to say they're gonna kill it because it'll be entertaining,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but it's not gonna do it justice. Let's just
I see what you did there.
But I mean, like on the
that was
other hand,
terrible.
on the other
Don't
hand,
support
though,
me
like
when I do that.
they introduced Guardians of the Galaxy pretty well. Just this new team that no one knew that came together pretty well. So
Yeah.
I mean, who knows?
Yeah. Do you think it's too late for me to do a Guardians print? Because I feel like I should do one. I feel like that'll move.
You
it will
should. I have like
definitely move.
3 in buttons. You should do
Yeah.
it.
I wanted to talk to you about that. What was the deal with like you tweeted that picture of the buttons to Chris Pratt, right? And he retweeted it.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
just pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah, I'm a little jealous. A little
No big
bit.
deal,
Sorry.
guys. No
It's all right. I'm jealous also.
big-
Yeah, like I've never really. It's weird because I always like want to throw it to Twitter or like to do like pictures of people and then show them.
Mhm.
And I did that last year, like the beginning of last year. I was gonna go see Harmontown, the Dan Harmon podcast, the guy that created Community,
Yeah.
and Rick and Morty. And before going to that live podcast, I just drew a cartoon of him and I brought it to him at the show and I gave him a copy and then I had him sign one for me.
What do you say?
He like that's what got me to do Comic-Con.
Oh.
Like the reaction I got from him where he was like, "This is awesome, this is incredible, like you should be," he was like, "You should be out on the West Coast, like I'd love to be able to give you an opportunity." And then he wrote on mine, "Pat, this is incredible, please keep in touch, Dan Harmon."
Dude.
That's pretty awesome.
Dude.
Yeah, I have it framed on my wall, and I look at it whenever I'm like, I don't want to do this. I
You
look at that and I'm like, I guess I could do this.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's fuppic. That is the definition of the word fuppic.
Yeah, it was weird because it was like that and a combination of like I went with my cousin Chuck, whose podcast I was just on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know when this is going to come out. I don't know how fast you put your stuff out.
It'll probably go out tomorrow.
All right. Yeah, and I think that's either tomorrow or Wednesday. I'll be on Agreeing to Disagree, the Chuck and Brad podcast.
Nice.
It gets pretty raunchy. So that's
good.
Yeah. But he was like, you should do Comic-Con. And then like it like went in the back of my head. And I was like, I'm not gonna do this. And then I decided to do it.
That's fucking great.
What were we talking about before? Fucking
I have no clue.
Guardians, right? We're back to Guardians, then
Talk about
Deadpool.
Miss Marvel, yeah.
That's what we were talking. Female leads.
Yeah,
That's
we
where
actually
we're
moved
going.
on to female leads.
All right. Yeah, so Batman, the new one that's coming out, there's a lot of people in that. What the fuck's going on there?
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously trying to set up for a Justice League movie. I don't know why they didn't just go straight to a Justice League movie instead of Batman versus Superman.
I think they're doomed to fail. No matter what, they're gonna have fan outrages over them.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't think it'll fail, but I don't think it'll do anywhere near as well as, the Avengers. Not even close.
No. It's not going to.
Yeah. Because, even people were upset about Gal Gadot. That's her name or something like that?
Yeah.
Gal Gadot.
Wonder Woman. Yeah.
The T is silent.
Gadot. Oh. I'm sorry. They're upset about her because it's like, oh, she shouldn't be Wonder Woman. Nah, nah, nah. I'm like,
she's like, because she's very small.
She is very small, and I get that. I won't be a final judgment until I see her in action. Like, if there's got to be a reason why they picked her as opposed to picking, someone who had a lot more heft to them, a lot more like taller, muscular, So I don't know. I've seen some really like amazing, cosplay or costumes of women who look like they're Wonder Woman, but they might not be good actors at all.
I think every woman has a little Wonder Woman inside of her.
There you go.
That's it.
That's all I got.
Just needless pandering.
But I'm not really that outraged. I love Wonder Woman. I think she's up there with some of my favorite characters.
The new costume is pretty cool too.
Oh, I love the costume.
I've seen the thing about I don't like how the DC movie universe has dulled everything down though.
Yeah,
everything's just dulled down in color. It's we're dark and serious.
I fucking love the Batman movies so much though. So much.
But I also feel like they kind of ruined the DC universe because it's everything has to be so grounded now with them.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely doesn't have to be.
Yeah, and it definitely it definitely takes a certain mood to sit through those movies.
Fucking stupid. Yeah,
you guys okay over there? Giggles?
No, I'm fine. I'm dandy. Yeah, I think my to its fault, The Dark Knight is one of my favorite movies of all time, and I don't think anything that DC will do will be anywhere as good as that for a long time.
I probably agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, because The Dark Knight Rises, when that came out, it wasn't as good as the second one. But with that said, I thought that movie was really good as well. But
it was a half hour too long for me.
So I'm wondering. The Superman movie was good, but I felt like there wasn't really any situations where Superman was in real danger. It was like, I'm fucking Superman. I can make black holes appear out of my hands. So fuck you.
What? He did that in the movie?
Not in the movie, but he can do that.
Man, I gotta brush up on my Superman.
It's fucking bullshit. It's bullshit.
Look, man, if you're all right, if someone was like, Will, I'm gonna give you any superpower in the world, what do you want? You would pick all of Superman's powers, wouldn't you?
Obviously, but that's the problem. He's OP as fuck. OP as fuck.
He is all powerful Superman.
Yeah. He's like, oh, I can lift a planet. What the fuck?
If
How
I
do
had
you
the
lift a
power to lift a planet, I would do it.
And then do what?
I would just switch them. Like I would just move planets around.
You'd be the biggest troll ever.
Where are we? Why is it so cold?
Fucking Pat.
He moved us again.
God damn it.
Yeah, no, I would wind up using my powers for evil. Not for like evil, but like just to like annoy people a little bit. Like play pranks on people, like Quicksilver. And did you guys see the new X-Men? Days of Future
haven't
Past?
yet. No.
I haven't seen that yet. No, I need to see it actually.
You guys.
I also need to see Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man movie.
We missed a lot of movies kind of mid-summertime.
Yeah. We're kind of like heads down, like working all the time on shit.
Mm.
It's pretty insane.
Yeah, it was good. I dug it a lot.
I want to see it. I heard really good things about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently, Quicksilver. Isn't there going to be another movie with Quicksilver in it very soon?
Yeah, he's in Avengers too.
Avengers, yeah.
Yeah.
Him and Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird though. Like I heard that Marvel was like, "Oh, hey Fox, can we use the same actor so that like just in case we ever want to do a crossover in a little bit?"
Mhm.
And they were like, no."
Yeah, it's like fucking Fox ruins everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like we're gonna cast our own guy, but I think he did an awesome job. I think the Quicksilver that's in that movie, I don't even know the actor's name, and I don't know that much about Quicksilver, but I think he was a good job, and I liked his scenes a lot.
Nice.
Yeah, I heard like he was really good despite how stupid he looked.
Yeah, he had like goggles.
I mean, I guess that makes sense. If you're running really fast, you don't want to get bugs in your eye or some shit.
Yeah, but like, what if you're inside? There's no bugs inside.
Wind resistance and bullshit like that. I don't know. Maybe he has to. Maybe he has to do that so that he doesn't make sure the wind doesn't cut his eyes open from going too fast.
Yeah, that's a thing that can happen.
Right. Razor wind. See, no one thinks about that stuff.
That'd be a superpower.
What, razor wind?
Yeah. It sounds like a Dungeons and Dragons move. Like, I cast Razor Wind.
Or a Pokemon attack.
Or just like the aftermath of a trip to Taco Bell.
Basically. Oh shit, dude. Nice.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I got you covered, Will.
All right.
All right. Hey, Zach, I have a question.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Rick and Morty episode?
You got him right where it hurts.
I don't know. That one's tough. All of them?
All right. I can get behind all.
What's your favorite one?
I love the I don't even remember the A plot, but the B plot is they hate watching TV because everything like is stupid. So Rick like breaks the cable box and hooks it up to that like interdimensional thing, and they can watch TV from an infinite number of multiverses.
What the fuck?
That one's good.
But like all the episodes that they watch on the TV are all just improv between the writers and the voice actors.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like they make a joke about it, like they break a little fourth wall joke in the episode about them being like, yeah, I mean, this has a very improv-y feel to it. And then they're just like, watch this show where these hamsters live in people's butts like apartments.
Oh my god, yes.
And like the alternate universe Game of Thrones where Tyrion is a giant, or like not a giant, he's like normal sized and everyone else are like is little people.
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious.
But that would probably be my favorite episode.
Oh, I guess I really like the Mr. Meeseeks episode.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that the Meeseeks, that was so depressing though.
Yeah,
that episode bummed me out.
I like one episode of that show. It's not that I don't like it. It's just I just didn't watch more.
you need to watch it.
Well, fucking, I got games to play.
Yeah. So how's that going? Will, how's Last of Us treating you?
Okay. Two things.
Yep.
One, they still didn't fix a lot of the issues from the PS3 version. So there's still, instances where you'll get, playing online, for example. I play online a lot. Sometimes because of the way that the game is structured, people can run on you and like you have this move where you can stealth attack someone, so you can go behind them and use a shiv, but you have to handcraft a shiv either way, or you start off with a perk that gives you a shiv. Anyway, there's a glitch where like if you're at a certain angle on someone and they're still facing you, you can go behind them and shiv them, and that's not supposed to happen at all. You're only supposed to be able to do that from behind, or if you use like a smoke bomb and you do that. But other than that, the game is incredible. The online is having some issues with matchmaking, so oftentimes you'll be there for about 5 to 10 minutes before, or 15 minutes to 20 minutes before you actually get into a match. And it's not because there aren't enough people playing; it's the exact opposite. So apparently there are too many people playing. So
yeah, it's too good of a game.
It doesn't make any fucking sense. They've had an additional year to make sure that shit was working. And PS4 has a better network infrastructure than the PS3. So if anything, it should be better matchmaking.
Interesting. Yeah, I haven't dived into the next generation of consoles.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have a Wii U. Does that count?
That counts. That counts.
Half counts?
Did you play Mario Kart?
I did.
And what are your thoughts on that?
I gotta have you guys over for some Mario Karting because
yes,
it is. My God, like it is the most aggravating game. playing it online.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, man. I'm just not built for playing games online because I just want to like yell and scream at every small child that's doing better than me.
Maybe that means you are built for online.
All right. Yeah, but I don't want to be that guy yelling at a child in a chat. Like
it happens all the time.
I know. I was that guy for a long time. It's like I can't do this. My blood pressure.
Your blood pressure is over 9,000. Yeah, I'm debating getting a Wii U just so I can play those games and Bayonetta 2. I don't know if you ever played the first one, but it was one of my favorite games of last gen. And so, I feel like I kind of like, and it's only going to be exclusive to the Wii U. So
I'm telling you, dude, if you wanna try out the Wii U for a little while, I got one. Just swing on by.
Yeah, you're still living at that same apartment from last time, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna be here for another year.
Nice.
So
are you? Where are you thinking of going after?
I don't know. I want to quit my job and open a farm. And just like work on a farm and work the land. And like,
is that legit?
Like I gotta get away, man.
Yeah.
I want to travel. Maybe I'll take some time and I'll get like a really shitty like $100 apartment, like somewhere just to hold my stuff, and then I'll just go off and explore.
Yeah.
I'll get like an Indiana Jones hat, and then no one will ever see me again.
And it's fucking do it. Fucking do it.
Oh man.
So
yeah, I just sent Zach this little piece of fan art I just found on the internet of Deadpool fighting the Meeseeks from Rick and Morty.
It's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, I actually just looked at it too. It's pretty great.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, and one of the things I like about Deadpool, obviously, is that like it's okay to cross him with other IPs and other things that don't have anything to do with Marvel, for example. Like it's expected at this point.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, God damn it! I need to see Guardians again. Are you guys down for going after Comic-Con one night? Because I do want to understand.
I could go again. I think we saw it in 3D.
IMAX 3D.
And there was a really weird section of the top left corner.
Yeah, part of the screen was messed up, but
yeah, so like it looked like it had like the movie had a stroke.
Oh,
and so like the left side, it was just like sloped and drooped down a little bit.
Yeah. So like during the widescreen parts, there's like a little black section, and during full screen, it was like all warped.
Yeah,
it was weird.
I very distracting.
I just blocked it out though.
Yeah, but 3D usually kind of like makes me, kind of gives me a headache sometimes. And so
I was fine with this one. I thought it was really well done.
Yeah, there was a time that happened where like something like flicked off of something and it went towards you and I flinched. I was like, oh shit! Oh,
I did the
fuck!
same thing.
Yeah, I looked over at Dan. I was like, "Did you just flinch?" He was like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah."
Like the IMAX was really good too. It's just like it was very immersive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's like my roommate saw it in IMAX, and like when I got home and I was talking to him about it this morning, I was just like, I just don't feel it. Like, I don't know. I loved Groot though. I think he was great.
Groot was great.
You just like he's just such like a noble man tree.
Yeah, and he's so loyal. I love him. He'll go with it, and he'll that part where Rocket Raccoon was explaining the plan.
Oh, that part killed me.
That was hilarious.
He just like wanders off.
Yeah. I'm not no spoilers. That wasn't a spoiler for anyone. But yeah, that was fucking great. And then the leg.
Yeah. Just is stuff like that not spoilers?
I mean,
like if you just say like two words out of the leg,
yeah,
just like that's it.
There's no context to that. They have no idea what the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah, they'll see what it's about.
Yeah, once they see that part, they go like, "Oh, that's what they were talking about."
All right. Like as we're sitting here talking, I'm opening up like a new canvas on Photoshop.
Yes.
I'm gonna just sketch Groot.
I'm like, I have like my website on the left side because I just downloaded the Creative Suite 2014 edition.
Nice.
And so like I'm like, the thing that I almost freaked out about a little bit was that I didn't have my site connected to Dreamweaver on this version. I had like CS5 before, so like I was like, oh my god, where's all my stuff? And then I was like, oh, I have to reconnect the server. Right.
See, I was thinking about getting the cloud. I have 6 right now.
Oh, 6 is fucking great.
Yeah, and I don't like. I think because I have 6, I don't need the cloud.
Yeah. Apparently there are a lot of improvements that they've made to the software, so I'm kind of exploring some of that, but I don't know what all of those are yet.
All right, I don't feel so out of touch.
Yeah. I mean, it's fairly new, so there's a lot of shit to get used to.
Yeah, when you start an idea, do you sketch it by hand before you start doing it on the Cintiq, or like what's the protocol here for people that know what they're doing, drawing stuff?
Well, it depends on the situation, I guess. Like, if I'm already in here in my room and I don't already have like a podcast rendering in the background, I'll go right into Photoshop and I'll just do like a couple of quick sketches and do thumbnail sketches, and then from there just refine them. But often I've been mainly because I just like the feel of having it in a book. I've been doing it in my sketchbooks and then just doing sketches from there, and then bringing and scanning them in and then sketching from there again. So like my process now is very do thumbnail, then sketch, and then bring it into Photoshop. Do another preliminary sketch, kind of figure out where things are, make sure all the proportions are where they need to be, and then do like a pre-line work, like refinement on another layer, and then I'll do like the final line work on the layer after that. It's a lot of fucking.
that sounded like 100 times more work than than what I'm willing to give to this.
And it's before that I didn't really do that before, but I think I've become so OCD about making sure my line work is like where I want it to be that I've just started doing that as a result of like trying to get it perfect, not necessarily on purpose. I really probably don't need to do that and probably shouldn't. But I don't know. I mean, like I started experimenting with different techniques and ways of rendering stuff. So like the hair from the Miss Marvel piece I just did is different in a lot of ways than some of the hair I've done in some other pieces. So I think moving forward, I'm going to be doing that more so than anything. I love the way that I did it there. So
how did you do the hair there?
So before, I would experiment with kind of like, I would do the flats, of course, with the coloring, and then I would do like, the shading, and then like another layer of shading, and then et cetera, et cetera. What I did with this was that I made I did the line work and then I did the flats. And then I did another layer that was just of the shadows, the placement of the shadows. And then I would put, I would go through with like either blue or orange and just do the flat colors of shadows. And then I would overlay or actually multiply that on top of the flats, and then kind of play around with those values, and then do like another duplicate layer of multiplier to see how dark I want it to go, and then use those as reference colors for moving forward to see like how dark I want it to go at its darkest in certain areas, and then how light I want it to be in certain areas. And so that's what I started doing with that last piece. And then I would go through and use that color from that color, use a color picker from there, and then go through with the hair and kind of like, with the shading, make that very soft, but then the highlights to make those a little bit harder edged.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of how I started doing that and using a softer brush for the darker parts. And then like I would use the flats as like ways to kind of go in and show detail in the darker parts. And that's basically what I did for that piece. And so I think moving forward, that's what I'm going to do for all of them, because it was the effect that I wanted to get. And again, one of my favorite artists is Stanley Lau, and he's probably my favorite artist now. And so like I have his artwork on my wall, just like looking at me all the time. It's like, this is where I'm trying to get my art to be.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for assisting me with that understanding. Because like I'll just like I just sketched out a Groot and I did it in like, I don't know, a minute and a half.
Yeah.
And I hate it. So I'm closing the program. I don't know. Getting discouraged is very easy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, I hate it.
Yeah, and I guess the best takeaway is that even if you hate that sketch that you just did, do another one that's a little different, and then you might like that one more. And then if you do a third one, for example, then you're like, all right, I think I'm good. So like this picture of Starfire I'm doing right now, people won't be able to see it at home because it's just going to be the audio anyway. But I like did an initial sketch, and I did that on my sketchbook, and it was like she had her back turned towards you, and she was like blowing a kiss back, and I was going to make her kiss like kind of shooting out fire in the shape of the Black Oni logo, and then I was like, there's something about this that it doesn't feel as exciting to me. And I couldn't put my finger on it. I was kind of getting discouraged because I was like, coming after that high of like working on Miss Marvel, I was like, this next one's gonna be amazing, and then it was just like, eh. And so I did another, I did a bunch of research on pictures of images of what I wanted to do, and then I found like a couple that I combined in my head, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna sketch this out, and that one came out a lot better. So that's the one I'm moving forward with now. So the one that you did before, that was just meh, or you hated it that a lot, like usually doing another one or two after that, just different, will make it better.
That's awesome advice.
Yeah. I mean, there are off days regardless though. So some days, no matter what you do, you're just sitting there and you're just like, fuck, man, I just spent like 4 hours on bullshit and nothing came out great. That's happened.
Does Groot have teeth? Yeah, right? Like he's a tree man.
That's a good question. I don't know if we ever saw him with teeth. Groot, teeth. About to Google that shit.
I mean, I'm also in front of a computer. I'm like the laziest Googler.
So it looks like in the comics he might have teeth. Also in the comics he looks really funny.
Yeah,
Well, Groot's drawn in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, he is.
You can do any. He's a tree, so you can do a lot with it. So
yeah.
Yeah,
he's drawn in a ton of ways. Holy crap.
Because he's drawn in all these different ways, it makes me apprehensive about drawing him.
Yeah.
Because you think some people are just going to be like,
in the movie he has teeth.
Like, is someone just going to be like, hey, why did this guy draw a tree man?
They'll get it, especially because the movie just came out.
Yeah.
But yeah, he has teeth. They're like wooden looking teeth.
All right, like George Washington.
Yeah, basically.
All right. Yeah, maybe I'll send this to you guys for some input.
Nice. Yeah, I would definitely give you some of that juicy input.
So what's the deal with setup for Comic-Con? You guys setting up Thursday night? You setting up Friday?
I
Probably
think Friday.
Yeah.
Because it's a Friday's half day, right?
Yeah, it starts at 1, I think.
Oh, really?
So I think that's when the floor opens, but setup starts at 9 or 8.
Shit.
Yeah, it sucks. Did you guys buy power or internet access?
Mm-mm.
No.
All right, me
It'd be
either.
nice to have that, but I actually bought one of those little juice packs for energy. So if my phone dies, I can just recharge it then and there.
Nice. Yeah, those are like I have one. I let my girlfriend borrow it, and I don't
then
think
you never saw it again.
Yep, I never saw it again. But I don't think I know how to use it at all. And I 100% know that we did not save the instructions. So
You better look that shit up.
yeah, it'll be good.
Hell yeah.
Dude, I can't wait. This is probably the scariest con just for like artwork wise. Like getting myself there last year was like a big step for me into like being able to deal with people criticizing my art in front of my face.
Right.
But yeah, this year I'm more scared that the nostalgia factor, like, because I have those Disney pieces. I have a couple like Jurassic Park, Ghostbusters, Gremlins, Back to the Future.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have those. I have probably the least amount of comic related pieces compared to last year.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think about the Comic-Con crowd in terms of like the people that go there for the pop culture stuff or the people that go there for the comic stuff that are super into comics, or like the overlap there?
Mm-hmm. That's a good question. I struggle with that a lot because I like to do a lot of video game related stuff. Because that's kind of what one of my mantras is. It's like I do the gaming site thing, and then you see my artwork. A lot of it's related to gaming.
Mm-hmm.
But oftentimes, you'll see some of the stuff. I mean, it's weird because like my Solid Snake piece, I did that as kind of like a test on my Cintiq to see like what it was like to paint on there, and that's been one of my better selling pieces because I actually had to order more of those. Versus like the Wolverine that I did in a very stylistic way that I thought was going to sell a lot. Like I sold maybe one of those the last convention we went to, and I was really surprised about that. So I don't. It's a tough thing because I guess like I have this picture of Spawn. It's a Spawn who's holding a katana instead of an axe, and everyone who goes by who looks at it like, oh, that's an awesome Spawn, but then they don't buy it. And so
yeah, see, that's what I'm afraid of, man.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know what people. I mean, Zach is really in tune with I think a lot of what people are interested in right now. So like he has the Guardians of the Galaxy thing. He's got the buttons, and he's got Deadpool.
I know all pop culture.
Yeah, he's a pop culture nerd.
Nerd is a term of endearment now, though.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I used it because I endear him.
Sorry, I was sketching Groot, and I was like, I don't even know if this is what Groot looks like. And I just looked it up, and I'm okay with it. So
Yeah.
This one's okay. I'll send it to you guys in a minute. Okay. But yeah, like, now Zach, you're big into Whoville over there.
I am, yes.
Like, how many? I know you have a couple pieces with like references to Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Do you have like a Doctor Who specific piece?
I actually don't really. Surprising.
Yeah, it is surprising.
I don't know why.
Have you thought about it?
Well, yeah, I just don't think I've come up with a good idea. Because like I like to have my pieces be like funny in some kind of way usually. So I just don't think I've come up with a good idea yet.
That's fair.
Hang in there, pal.
You'll get there.
One day.
See, like I toyed with the idea of like a Doctor Who print, and then I was like, because people are gonna ask me about it and be like, "Oh, what's your favorite episode?" I'm gonna be like, the one with the crying statues." And like, you know, I've only just begun into Doctor Who, and you and I talked about it a little bit at the beginning of the year. But that's like I still haven't even gotten to Matt Smith. Yeah, because I'm savoring my time with Tennant because I don't see how anyone could be better than him.
Yeah, you'll like Matt Smith though.
You say that. But
I felt the same way. I thought
it was pretty cool.
All right. Yeah.
I mean, but I didn't come off of the other episodes of like, oh, I love this Doctor, so I don't know.
But I definitely get what you mean. Like, there are definitely things that I want to draw, but since I don't know anything about it, I feel like an idiot. Yeah,
like kind of a dick. Like you're taking advantage of people. It's like, I'm not passionate about this.
Although, then on the opposite of that, like I'll draw something that I know a lot about, and then someone will come up to me like, actually, there's like, no, you're not right. That's not right at all. You're stupid.
Yeah. Stop talking to me about this scene and like,
We had a kid at our first Boston Comic Con who said he preferred the Wolverine Origins Deadpool to the comic Deadpool.
And Zach, I could see him in the inside just like dying on the inside. He was just like, oh, you just ruined life.
I just nodded along. I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Move along.
Oh, do anything else.
Yeah. It was pretty even I was cringing, and I'm not the biggest Deadpool fan. I was just like, oh, you fucked up.
I also always feel really awkward when like they're like with their mom and their mom might know something, then they yell at their mom like, "No, mom, why? Why are you so stupid?" It's like, whoa, guys.
Give me money.
Give me money.
That's not Spider-Man. That's Deadpool, mom. God,
so fucking stupid.
Children.
Seriously. They're little evil creatures sometimes.
Yeah. All the time. Awesome.
Yeah, so I don't know.
So do you go back and cut all the awkward silences out of these podcasts?
Hell no. I keep all that shit in, dude. It's got to be natural. It's got to be raw.
Oh, all right.
Yes. That's the only way to do it. Do you guys have anything else you'd like to contribute to the podcast?
I'm good.
Were we recording this whole time?
Maybe.
Oh, all right. Right on.
Yes.
No, I'm very much looking forward to another con weekend. And I look forward to seeing you guys at the con because our hangouts aren't numerous, but when they exist,
they
make
epic.
They make me happy. You guys got to be around more.
Aww.
Stop doing so much work, you two.
Well, maybe one day when I open up my boss studio, flex my muscles one day, eventually at some point in my life, I will be able to be like, hey, come to the studio, hang out, draw things, etc., etc.
Yeah. You get a Cintiq in there, I'll be there.
Yeah, going to close the podcast out now. Thank you guys for fucking watching and listening. You're just listening because you're not really seeing anything if you're watching. If you're watching, you're doing wrong. They could be watching our pictures, not
keep watching the skies.
I was gonna say that.
I'm sorry.
He stole it from right under his nose. That's how it goes, right?
That is the expression.
Yeah.
Yep.
I forgot things.
It is an expression.
Things, words, happening. Yeah.